Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Business Buzz.
Good morning and welcome back to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. In our second segment, I'm pleased to put the spotlight and talk more with the RCIPS in our regular interviews every second Thursday of the month. Welcoming back Ms. Jody Ann Powery, Police Media Officer, as we'll be discussing the Eastern District Community Clinics, community safety officers, how to keep in touch with the RCIPS, and definitely the agricultural show is coming up on February 26th. We'll talk about the traffic and parking layout for that event. Good morning, Jody Ann, and welcome back.
Good morning. How are you?
I am good after that nice paleta. Yes, it's strawberry, and I saw Susan chomping down on the cookies and cream. But you can get yours.
I will.
You make
on
sure
Saturday.
You go, yes,
yes,
right,
I
between
will.
4 and 6.
I absolutely will.
Over 200 given away, you know.
Yeah, I'll be there at 3:55.
That's right. Well, I can definitely vouch for the strawberry. Delicious. Okay. But let's put it back on your department and tell us about, let's start off with these Eastern District Community Clinics. Tell us more.
Right. So, one of the things that we've always heard at community meetings whenever we attend is that people want to get to know the officers. Mm-hmm. People want to see the officers, and they want to be able to be conversational with them. And since the East End and Northside Police Station are consistently closed because we usually operate from the Boston Town Police Station. Mm-hmm. The police stations in East End and Northside are usually used as kind of like lunch break spots or something to that effect. We've decided to open up these stations on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the evenings so that people who work during the day can get an opportunity to come over as well. Mm-hmm. and meet with the officers, speak with them, let them know what's going on in the community, and you can even find out what's going on with us. That's right. Yeah.
Now, why should, in your opinion, residents attend these community clinics?
Well, things that affect the community is everybody's business. Mm-hmm. It's not just police business. And so taking an invested interest in your community is an important thing to do. Correct. In doing so, you'll definitely make your community safer, and you'll encourage and empower others to do so as well. That being said, you come out there and you'll get to know the officers. Mm-hmm. You can tell them what's been going on with you. If you have an interest, say, neighborhood policing, or you'd like to start up a community group or whatever the case may be, mm-hmm. the officers who operate from Eastern and Northside are also the community officers for those districts, and they'll be able to guide and assist you in that way. Additionally, mm-hmm. Our area commander for that area, Inspector Soto, has also said that he'll be popping into those meetings from time to time as well. Mm-hmm. And what we will be doing is advertising the days that him or another senior officer will be going to those stations and which station it will be, so that people can know beforehand if they want to go and speak to them directly.
Now, what about gathering information from the public through, let's say, even a survey?
Well, we did do a household survey with the ESO mm-hmm. Last year, and that we found what was interesting was we asked a question of what is the top 5 priorities that you think the police should have. One of them was serious crimes. I think that was the first one. The second one was burglaries. Mm-hmm. And the third one was community policing, believe it or not. And so I think that was holding community policing at a very high standard for it to be the top 3 things that were one of the concerns and what they wanted in the community. And it also showed that, I think that our community policing department has been doing a good job at letting people see what's been happening with us, and how they can assist them as well.
Well, what were some issues? Because I know you've been in West Bay with mm-hmm. these clinics already. What were some issues come from residents who've attended these meetings that has taken place, understanding that maybe certain districts, certain areas that you'd have the concerns or priorities would differ based on areas.
Yes, different areas and different communities do have different things that affect them, but in a general sense, things that affect residential neighborhood that they're concerned about is like speeding cars. That is one of the things that definitely affect residential areas, because of course, if it's a residential area, children play, bikers, there are pedestrians or runners in the evenings, and so speeding cars and just traffic violations in residential areas were one of those concerns. Also, antisocial behaviors, especially at public parks where children play at. Yes. That was one of the things that came out in some of those community meetings and community clinics. And we didn't just have them in West Bay. We had them in Bodden Town as well, and we did one in the Swamp area. Okay. And I think Windsor Park as well. So we tried to make it as wide as possible. So that was two of the concerns, antisocial behavior, speeding, and of course another concern was the fact that they wanted to see more officers in the neighborhoods. Visibility of these officers. And so we have been trying our best to try to mitigate these concerns from the community. As you well know, our traffic department has been out there. And it's not just the traffic department that looks into traffic crimes as well. Our patrol officers also assist with that as much as possible. And we have been trying to be out in the neighborhood as much as possible to discourage antisocial behavior as well as to provide that visibility.
Have there been any, has any of these infractions, breaking in laws, subsided since your presence in these community meetings have actually taken place? Because I think there was some issue as well with the playing of loud music as well, but I don't think that is much at the top more than infractions where parking is concerned. I
don't think so. I do know that we continue to do these things. I can't speak on the figures to say whether or not there was a reduction per se, but I do know that we take every concern of the community very seriously, and we do work on these figures. And wherever we see there's a need, especially in the community, say for instance in Bodden Town, where we see that there's a large crowd gathering in the Lookout Garden area, we make sure that our presence is known, make sure that there's no breaches of the peace. And in doing so, usually the crowd disperses.
What about Kimmenbrack and Little Cayman? Will they be planning on doing clinics over in the sister islands?
Absolutely. And with that being said, I'd like to also announce that there's now a community safety officer in Kimmenbrack, along with the police officers in Kimmenbrack. And all the Kimmenbrack police officers are considered community police officers as well. And there are plans to break the beat of Kimmenbrack, which is one big beat, into 4 smaller beats, and have specific officers assigned to each beat. So that is coming, and I'll definitely say more about that once everything is confirmed. But yes,
and that's definitely a way of just pretty much dispersing these officers over a wider area with these different beats, correct?
Absolutely. And to also have the Kimmenbrack community get to know one officer that they can depend on in their area as well, so that they have a point of contact whenever they have any concerns or issues. They have somebody who they can speak with directly.
Now let's go into the community safety officers and just expand on that a little bit more as to what their powers are. Like the difference between a community safety officer, their role, their purpose, and a police or constable.
Okay, so community safety officers are not police officers. They're not auxiliary officers, and so they do not have any rights for arresting persons, other than that of the civilian. You know that civilians can make citizens arrests when it's appropriate. However, what they do is that they do patrols in the areas that they are working in, with the exception of probably one of the CSOs. All of them work in the neighborhoods that they live in, and so they have an invested interest in those neighborhoods. What they do is they drive around, they meet with people and find out what's going on, and they speak to them as their neighbors rather than as a community safety officer or with the police, and come up with decisions and prioritize what needs to be done in the neighborhoods. So for instance, on Hearst Road, the community safety officers for Bodentown area, they organized for a bus stop to be put down on Hearst Road, where there was just a little metal bench before. And so that was done, I think, a few weeks ago. That was one of the projects that they've done since they've been out.
Already feeling their impact.
Yes, absolutely. So these are the things that they do. Whenever there's something that they need some assistance with, they report directly to the inspector in charge of community policing, which is Inspector Courtney Miles, and he would assist them with organizing and partnering with any other agency that's needed for the project. So the idea that we'd like to build is for people to be able to trust the community safety officers, even if they won't trust somebody in our police uniform.
Right.
We do want to build that level of trust across the service, but we know that that's not going to happen overnight.
It takes time.
Overnight. And so, yeah, we're hoping that we can start with the community safety officers, that they will be our bridge to the community.
Now, how will the public be able to easily identify these community safety officers? Are there in special marked cars? Is there a specific ID?
Yes.
Uniform of some sort?
They wear a uniform. Their uniform is quite different from ours. It's a blue polo shirt that has our crest, and it has community safety officer on it. They also have a hat that says community safety officer, and they wear blue cargo pants. They drive their own specific cars. They say community safety officers. We make sure that it's very clear that they are the community safety officer. Currently, I'm working on a page on our website for the community safety officers. It's not finished as yet, and so it's not open. But as soon as that is open, I will be making an announcement to it, and you can see who each individual
for
are.
each area.
Yes. I know that there are 3 community safety officers in West Bay. 3 of them are in Georgetown. 3 of them are in Bodentown. And those 3 in Bodentown assist Mr. Davis Scott, who is the community safety officer for East End. They assist him with North Side district until we're able to find somebody for North Side, which is also coming pretty soon.
Excellent.
Yes.
You're in tune to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. I'm speaking, and my guest in studio is Ms. Jody Ann Powery, Police Media Officer. You know that we have these regular segments every second Thursday of the month with the RCIPS, where we're kept up to date. And today our topics is we're discussing the Eastern District Community Clinics that are actually taking place, our community safety officers that are out and about there helping to bridge the gap and definitely keeping their relationships open and in good standing with the RCIPS and you, the community. We'll also, when we come back after these short messages, we'll talk about how to keep in touch with the RCIPS. And later on in the show, we'll discuss parking and traffic layout for the upcoming agricultural show, which takes place on February 26th. We want to thank our kind sponsors, Cayman Medical Supplies and Cayman Insurance Center, for making this show possible.
Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Always be prepared and ensure your family is provided for. Cayman Insurance Center specializes in life, property, motor, health, and liability at the most competitive premiums and affordable rates on island. Call Michael Webster today at 925-5433 for life insurance, or Denise Brown at 814-7229 for property insurance. Call them today for all your insurance needs.
The Lions Club of Grand Cayman will be holding a prostate and colon cancer awareness meeting at the John Gray Memorial United Church Hall in West Bay on Tuesday, February 18 at 7:30 p.m. Free PSA testing will be available along with a presentation by guest speaker Dr. Shillingford. PSA testing will be done by Royal Medical and Wellness Center. For more information on prostate and colon cancer awareness, join the Lions Club of Grand Cayman on Tuesday, February 18 at 7:30 p.m. at the John Gray Memorial United Church Hall in West Bay.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
On a daily basis, making it easy to connect with you, our listeners. Add us to WhatsApp today, 925-3261. That's 925-3261.
Radio Cayman.
Send a text or voice note.
Can I send a request, please?
You don't really have to ask us. Just send a request.
This is a shout out to my ex.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Business Buzz.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz as we keep the spotlight on the RCIPS, and in studio with me, I'm pleased to be joined by Ms. Jody Ann Powery, Police Media Officer. Now, we were talking about the community safety officers that have just been deployed. How do you go about sourcing these people? Is there an application form? What is the criteria?
So yes, we did advertise for the community safety officers, and we got a number of applications, a very good number of applications. And at the moment, we still need one. I'm not certain how far in the process we are with that one for Northside. But we were very pleased with the amount of applications that we got for the community safety officers, because it is a part-time job. And so these people who have decided that they wanted to assist us, they did so knowing that their schedule would be twice as busy. And so that shows a lot of dedication to the community in itself, giving up your time with your homes and families to try to make your neighborhood safer.
Now, in continuing on, we spoke about these Eastern District community clinics, and I think what's important in this for it to not go overlooked or even forgotten, this evening kicks off the ones for the Eastern District.
Yes, it absolutely does. So today is the first evening for the community clinics. They'll be at East End and Northside Police Station, and the clinics will start at 6 p.m. tonight, and they'll end at 9 p.m., and that will be the time for Tuesday as well coming.
Okay. So it's Thursday and Tuesday and
Tuesdays
Thursday,
and
but this
Thursdays
one
every
kicks it off,
week.
and this will be at the local police stations within those districts.
Absolutely, yes.
Now, how do we keep in touch with the RCIPS?
Well, there are so many different ways that you can do so. But the best way is to go on our website, which is www.rcips.ky. On that page, you will find a great number of our officers who are in charge of heads of departments. You'll also find all our different departments on the page with a telephone number and email address possibly for all of them. The address for all our offices will be on there as well. In addition to that, we also have a community beat page, and on there you will find the beat officers for different areas, and on their beat pages is also their names, their pictures, their email address for you to reach out to them. In addition to that, if you just have, say, for instance, a tip about a suspicious activity in your neighborhood, you can submit a tip on our app. We have that function as well on our website or our mobile app. We also have a mobile app. And you are able to send us videos or pictures through the mobile app or the website on the submit a tip function. And you can also send us feedback. So a lot of times if somebody had an encounter with a police officer and they weren't very pleased with the way that the situation was handled, they send us a feedback to let us know that at this time they encountered this officer and they didn't like it, explain why, and we could look into something like that.
Now, the upcoming agricultural show will take place on February 26th. Definitely a day that we all look forward to.
Absolutely.
What advice would you like motorists to keep in mind
Well,
as it pertains to road layout, to and from the Stacey Waltler Pavilion in Lower Valley?
right. So the first thing that you have to remember is that on that day, which is Ash Wednesday, there will be delays because there is going to be directions being given by police officers between Agricola Drive and Daniel Drive in Savannah. So expect delays. If you intend to go to the agriculture show and you want to get there at a certain time, make sure that you leave ahead of schedule in order to get there in time. Those persons who are entering from Agricola Drive, we ask that you park on Agricola Drive because there'll be a designated parking on Agricola Drive and there'll be one on Lottery Drive.
Okay.
So if you're coming from Daniel Drive, then you park on the Lottery Drive parking space, and if you're coming from Agricola Drive, you park in the Agricola Drive parking space. That way, there is a lot less confusion on the roadway and traffic doesn't meet. So, yeah.
So there will be police officers on duty at the show.
There will be police officers on duty. There will be special constables who have volunteered to come out and assist as well. And in addition to that, we usually also have the cadets assisting.
Excellent.
So I'd like to say a very big thank you to all the people who have decided to donate their time to this very special event. I've been going to this event since I was a child, and so it's very dear to me as well. I will be out there with the Safer, Cleaner, Greener team. On the day, we have a very large booth. We'll be sharing with DEH and I guess any other entities who want to share with us as well. Probably Customs and Border Control, if we can manage that, to promote our Safer, Cleaner, Greener campaign, which is safety from the RCIPS perspective, where we're promoting community policing, road safety, and our mobile app for persons to use the safety functions on there as well. And Cleaner, where the DEH is currently promoting recycling, which is something I do as well. My son is very big at recycling and he makes me guilty. I even do it at work. And the greener aspect, where the Customs and Border Control have waived fees for electrical and solar vehicles coming onto the island under a certain value. So
now, the RCIPS, will they be having a booth in itself for persons who may want to know about career opportunities and other departments within the RCIPS as well?
We are in that joint booth, but there will be police officers in that booth, and we will have different reading materials to hand out to people. And yes, there will be people there to talk about anything that you want to talk about relating to policing, not just safer, cleaner, greener. Okay. Yes.
We're in tune to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz as we put the spotlight and get updates from the RCIPS, where we've been talking about the Eastern District Community Clinics that kicks off this evening between East End and North Side. And we're also talking about the community safety officers. We've given you some information on how to keep in touch with the RCIPS. And we've also the upcoming agricultural show that takes place on February 26th, parking and the traffic layout. Now, will information as it pertains to this event that's coming up on February 26th be available on your website?
Absolutely. As it gets closer to the time, because we don't want it to get lost either, we will definitely be putting out traffic advisory and a road plan for the agriculture show. And so stay tuned to that. Please download our mobile app. It's free on the Google Play Store and the iTunes Store. And it functions on both iPhones and Android phones. And it's very useful, I must say. Not only do you get instant notifications on traffic advisories and press releases on major incidents, you can also connect to anything on the website directly through the mobile app. So it's an easy-to-use app.
Stay tuned for more Radio Cayman's Business Buzz after these few messages.
Oh,
Oh, gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Rotary Club Central, in association with the Cayman Islands Health Services Authority, HSA, present Health Check 2020. Free health check, free mini medical consultation, diabetes, hypertension, and much, much more. Saturday, March 7, 10 a.m. through 2 p.m. Nurses, doctors, Rotarians in service to you. The Rotary Health Check 2020 at A.L. Thompson's, Foster's Airport and Countryside, Foster's Republics, and Kamana Bay. Costs you less. And Hurley's Supermarket. You may save your life. Rotary Central Health Check 2020. Your life, your health. Rotary, connecting the world.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment.
Business Buzz.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz. It is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies and Cayman Insurance Centre. I'm your host, Sabrina Turner, as we keep the spotlight on the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service. And telling us more is Miss Jody M. Powery, Police Media Officer. Now let's talk about the brochures. Give us some details on the crime prevention brochures and what they primarily address.
So we have currently worked on 3 brochures so far. We're hoping to do more based on the different crime trends that we have. One of the ones that we're currently working on is victims of crime brochure. But currently we have a burglary prevention brochure. We have a burglary tips, what to do if you've been a victim of burglary. Brochure, as well as a crime prevention for business brochure. All these brochures will be at the agriculture show as well, but in addition to that, they're at all our different police stations, and everywhere I stop, I kind of just put down a few for people to have. Our community officers have them as well, so there's a few even out front here still. At Radio Cayman, I've seen them. And so we definitely did invest a lot into preparing these burglary prevention brochures, because it's no secret that burglaries have been a consistent problem in the Cayman Islands. Even though there was a reduction last year, it still wasn't enough. It was still 300 too many burglaries. And those crimes are very serious crimes, because what they do is they take away the peace of mind of somebody in their home, which is kind of like your sanctuary. It's the place that you were supposed to feel safe. And so we don't take it lightly. And so we did, in fact, invest a lot into trying to reduce the amount of burglaries that take place, as well as to inform the public what to do to try to reduce the chances of you becoming victims of burglaries, and the steps that you need to take if you have been a victim of burglary.
Now, can the brochures be downloaded from the RCIPS website?
What we have is a crime prevention page on the website, and all the information that is in the brochures is under burglary prevention and what to do if you've been a victim of burglary on the website itself. So all that information actually came from the website, from those tips on the website, and we've just kind of put them in a to-go packet for you to have if you want to read it.
Now, Ms. Jody, let's talk about the victim contact card and its objective.
So what we have is a victim contact center. And we've developed this because, again, we do take the feedback from the public very, very seriously. And one of our biggest failings, I think, was not being able, or just neglecting to inform victims step by step on the investigations.
Like a lot of progress report.
Right. A lot of times, maybe police officers may think that because there wasn't a development in an incident, it didn't make sense to contact that victim, but it does absolutely make sense to do so, because that person needs to know whether or not there was something happening with them to kind of give them some sense of peace of mind. And so we've put together a victim care policy. With that victim care policy in there, it stipulates that police officers are to contact a victim within the first 7 days of a crime being reported to the police to give them an update. And after that point, they're to be contacted on every major development in the incident. So if there has been an arrest, or if there was a witness who was identified, that kind of thing, every major development, they're to be contacted and informed immediately. In addition to that, if there hadn't been any progress on the investigations, they're to be updated every 28 days. Failing that, we've also developed a victim contact center. So if you hadn't been able to get in contact with the police officer who was dealing with your incident for whatever reason, maybe he was on vacation, or he or she was, has been transferred, and your case had been switched over to a different officer who wasn't able to contact you and let you know, you can contact the victim contact center. The information for that is also on our website, and you can email them at victimcare@rcips.ky and give them as much information as you can. So that being said, the RMS number is important, so make sure that you ask for that whenever you have made a report. The name of the officer is also important, so make sure that you write down the badge number and the name of the police officer that you've been dealing with. And the date of the incident is important, as well as the type of incident that it is.
Okay. How has that been embraced thus far? Have you got any feedback?
Yes. The last time I was here, there were persons who called and weren't aware of the victim contact center, and so that information was passed on to them, and I'm pleased to say that quite a few of them have had successfully contacted their officer and gotten updates on their matters.
Excellent. So it's a work in progress, but definitely it's a much more elevated way of keeping victims a part of the whole processing, sir.
Absolutely, because that is very important. It is your report. It is the crime that you've been a victim of, and so you absolutely have a right to be step-by-step informed on that.
Now, Ms. Jody, can you summarize the key points that you would like our listeners to take away with them from this morning's discussion, and anything that you would like to recap?
Right. So the first thing I want to recap is a reminder that tonight, Thursday, 6 to 9 p.m. will be the community clinics for East End and North Side, and they will take place every other Tuesday and Thursday until further notice, until there are any other changes. So please, if you live in East End or North Side and you have any concerns and you'd like to get to know your officers a little better, just go out there and have a chat with them. The next thing I want to recap is that all the information that you could ever want about the police is on our very, very hard worked on website. Please do have a look at it. We put out daily press releases on major incidents and traffic advisories. We have updated information on the beat pages. We have information on any changes in staff, for instance. So right now we have a new HR manager. So go ahead and check that out if you have any concerns. We also post job vacancies on the website as well. So it is very useful. It's a very useful tool. We have forms online specifically for the our criminal records office and so on. So yeah.
Definitely. It's always a pleasure having you in studio with us and giving us updates, because it's just a matter of keeping the community engaged. And I'm so happy to say, and you can see it, that the bridge is definitely connected with the people, and people are more embracing. And I'm seeing them. We still got a little work to do with building back the trust. And when I share information with the RCIPS, but definitely from where we're coming from to where we are. Congratulations to the department.
Thank you so much. It means a lot for you to say that, and we'll continue to work on this bridge, because it is a very important part of policing, that community assistance, the need for the community to assist us and to speak with us is very important. It is the best part of policing. So very happy.
Thank you so much, and see you back at our next show for more updates. And I'm quite sure you'll have lots in store for us for the next interview. It's always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
We want to thank you, our listening and viewing audience, for tuning in to Radio Cayman every Tuesday and Thursday for the Business Buzz. This would not be possible without the kind sponsorship of Cayman Medical Supplies. Give them a call, 949-6211, and Cayman Insurance Center. Celebrating 45 years, actually it's 46 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. We want to thank our producer, Ms. Susan, who's also managing the boards for us this morning, and you. Without you, it would not be possible. Until Tuesday, have a safe and fabulous Thursday.
The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies. Call them at 949-6211. Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services.